Hello everyone, my name is Allegra Miller and I am here today to share with you the astrology for today, January 9th, and the essential oils that will be helpful in alchemizing those energies. Before I get started, I do want to emphasize that any oil guidance given here is strictly talking about the brand doTERRA. There's a lot of life experience that goes into that emphasis. There's a huge difference in terms of caliber, chemistry, and overall therapeutic value when it comes to doTERRA, and so do keep that in mind. Please reach out if you have any questions specific to the needs of you and your family, or are wondering how to purchase oils. I would be glad to guide you on that. So let's talk about the astrology. This morning early at 6:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon went into Sagittarius. We will be under that moonshine for the next 2 days, so it will be helpful to understand what that's all about. Sagittarius energy is fun-loving, freedom-loving, travel-loving, adventure-loving, optimistic, open-minded. It is the proverbial sign of the philosopher, loves travel and ingenuity. On the shadow side, Sagittarius tends to overcommit and has a propensity to leave things unfinished while pursuing the next bright and shiny new person, place, or thing. They have a tendency to be reckless on the shadow. So it will be helpful to have some oils that address these things. So let me start with that. There's 3 oils specific to bring out the best of Sagittarius that I'm going to recommend. Number 1 being Balance, also known as Grounding Blend. This is a very nice oil that just helps us keep us in our body, present to the task at hand, the thought at hand, just be more in our body, less in the head, and able to take the next right action. Fennel is my next oil for this energy. Fennel oil is the oil that helps us be an adult relative to life. It helps us own up to the present moment, what needs to be tended to so that we can get the job done. It also helps us take a deeper level of responsibility in terms of what's showing up in our life, and that we are the master co-creator of all the details, even when it seems like it's about other people, places, or things. The heart of our wisdom knows that we are the masters of our co-creation. So that is the energy of fennel. It just helps us with that awareness. My third oil in the lineup for Sag energies is sandalwood. Sandalwood helps us clear the 6th chakra. It stimulates the pituitary, the pineal, and also the amygdala, which is the center that controls our arousal, our autonomic responses, etc. But I specifically chose sandalwood here in addressing some of the shadow Sagittarius energy. Sandalwood can help us be less impulsive about things, and it can help us just stay more in tune with our inner wisdom and express our God-Goddess self versus the shadow side of our human nature. There's another reason I chose sandalwood, and that is relative to the Mars-Venus relationship that I'm going to get into in a little bit. So this morning the Sag moon created a helpful trine with Mercury in Aquarius. This can inspire a thirst for new places, people, things, concepts. It is a light and cheery energy. It makes people more receptive to engage, both initiate engagement and be receptive to receive engagement from people that may be out of our social circle or comfort zone. The oil I'm choosing for that is one called Adaptive. Adaptive has 2 of my favorite communication oils in it, so it's going to be helpful for communicating with people that might not be in the range of our comfort zone. It's also going to help us be more at ease when we're under the impulses of exploring that which might be out of our comfort zone, whether it's people, places, things, or concepts. It just gives us just a slow ease. And the best place for adaptive is on the web of the the thumb and the first finger. You can kind of rub it in there. The back of the neck is a good place, but I'm not going to get into all the details of those kinds of things here, but I will in future videos. Let's see. My favorite part of the day today is the relationship happening between Venus and Mars today. Venus is still in Capricorn, which is, I talked about that in the last couple of days. Venus in Capricorn adds a weighty, serious, calculated approach to love. But on the upside, being that today Venus is trine Mars in Taurus, this is a supreme harmony between the two and is very auspicious when it comes to love, dating, relationships, and the creative arts. So when it comes to love and dating, if you're looking for tips there, I will say that flirtations will be much more successful when they're based on things that are rooted in the practical. If connections will be much more apt to form when you're talking about common interests, common life goals, common plans, etc. So just a tip there. If you're already in a relationship, today could be a good day to take things to the next level when it comes to financial partnerships, marriage, joint ventures. It's a spicy energy for the bedroom on the upside, and that energy is much more likely to be hot and steamy when there is a substance for the foundation of a relationship built on integrity, built on history and solid, firm foundation. Okay, so my oils for these energies were fun to pick out. Kind of easy, actually. Frankincense and myrrh are my top two. Frankincense is going to be very helpful for Mars energy. It's going to heal energies with the masculine in our life and help us express more of a divine masculine. Myrrh, on the other hand, is going to be the counterpart to that. It's going to help heal our energies with feminine. So when I say that, I mean sisters, mothers, women friends, lovers, where the case may be, and the inner part of us that's feminine. So masculine counterpart frankincense will be the same thing. Brothers, fathers, male friends, lovers, where the case may be, and helping to nurture the development of a healthy divine masculine. That's irregardless of sex, irregardless of sexuality. Anyway, these two coming together help just bring those energies in harmony within ourselves. Another oil blend that's great is Immortelle. It has actually frankincense, myrrh, and sandalwood that I mentioned earlier, in addition to lavender and rose and helichrysum. But the beautiful thing about this is, I mentioned sandalwood earlier too, because sandalwood is an aphrodisiac. The combination of all these three, well, actually several in this blend in particular, are helpful as an aphrodisiac, so could be good for intentions there. On the sensuality side of things, it's interesting that sandalwood is one of the oils that mimics pheromones, so it can be definitely good as an aphrodisiac. Other oils in that category for the bedroom would be passion and whisper. I won't get into the details of those today. Anyway, this harmonious relationship between Mars and Venus will also be helpful when you're not talking relationships, when you're just talking the relationship maybe with the self and feeling at balance with the self, and also our creative pursuits. This is a great energy for any creative endeavors, for artists, writers, photographers, woodworking, whatever, things specific that have to do with doing work with your hands, or having an eye to be impeccable with detail. That's a good energy to work with. So those oils pertain there. Venus will in Capricorn. Anyway, okay, so love is in the air there. That's the gist. Brings a sweet energy. It's good to have clarity for long-term goals, what needs to be changed to live the life of your dreams and passions, essentially. This afternoon at 2:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sagittarius Moon trines Chiron, the wounded healer. That essentially is going to help us see our pains and our histories in a context that's wise. In other words, seeing that without the wounds of the past, we wouldn't be who we are today. And the oils specific to help with that energy are the furs, Siberian fir, Douglas fir. Those help to put past pains, whether it's in our personal life, in our ancestral or collective, to put the pain in the context of stepping stones in the evolution of consciousness, essentially. It helps to heal and have a benevolent relationship with our wounds so that we can ultimately see that through the contrast, we learn what we want, what's more in resonance. All right, moving on from there, Mercury is exactly conjunct Saturn tonight at 10:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Saturn is the planet of hard work, responsibility, and discipline. This can be conducive to mental perseverance. On the negative shadow side, it can make us overly solitary and cut off from more expanded viewpoints. So immortelle that I mentioned earlier would be a good blend to help us tune into our higher wisdom and be more apt to tuning into energies that will provide guidance, that will kind of pull us out of that solitary, limited viewpoint. Another oil that is helpful specific to that energy is marjoram. Marjoram oil is helpful in cutting any hermit-like tendencies that have us feel cut off from the whole, emotionally cut off from the collective. Marjoram helps us just feel safe and connected. And if you don't have marjoram, it is a very specific oil to have. You might have an oil blend called Aromatouch that has marjoram in it. So marjoram just helps us feel less isolated, even if we're not in physical proximity to a person or to the community. We can just feel like we are. Anyway, let's see. The other energy, I guess that's going to be it. Basically, it's important to be true to yourself today, making a date, having some time for yourself, with yourself, for creativity could be wise. If you're not in a partnership, otherwise making some good time, really maximizing that love in the air quality. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, sharing, liking, subscribing. I hope you find this valuable, and I hope you enjoy these energies. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.